Hey, this is Judah Mantel for SceneForge Studio, and in this video I'm going to go over version 0.6.45. It has a couple new features and improvements relating to producer-focused previs and pre-production workflows that I know will be super helpful when using SceneForge. So you can see I have this scene here. It's an interrogation room with two characters, some objects, and of course some lighting set up. Additionally, we have a really great camera motion. As you can see, the camera flying through the scene with a timeline, and a really interesting color grade that kind of gives it this old school detective noir feel by adjusting the color values as well as the saturation. Additionally, in shoot mode, I have a 4:3 aspect ratio, some sensor noise, as well as a light vignette around the edges to really give it this noir, old school 40s feel. And if I wanted to go full on old school, I can go to color adjustments and make it fully black and white, which may or may not be what you're looking for in this type of shot. So with that all being said, I have my scene laid out here, and beforehand I actually took some snapshots of the camera kind of moving through this scene. And of course those are always visible in storyboard mode, as you can see on the left under the frame selection menu over here. Now at the bottom I actually have a timeline already set up of different storyboard frames with their corresponding information, with a title, a little bit of dialogue, some action and description, as well as the super handy top-down floor plan view. So I kind of created this little story here. It's not super realistic, but it has a suspect being brought into the interrogation room with a detective sitting at the table, and he's talking a little bit, and I have some description of the camera motion that of course is also visible with the timeline animation. You can see here I indicate now at this frame that the camera will continuously move to show what's on the table, and we have all of that content laid out on the timeline, which is really great. Now the main new feature in this release relates to what you can export from storyboard mode. Previously, you could only export HTML and PDF, which is still super handy. It has a visual breakdown of the scene, as you can see here, with all of our images and information. But for more text-based approaches, where you need a checklist about what needs to be filmed on set, or you just want an itemized list of everything that you need to recreate these virtual shots in real life for previs and things like that, that type of visual breakdown isn't always necessary, and it usually is just overkill. So that's why in the export menu of this release, we have two new options. We have shot list and line sheet. Now what the shot list is, it's essentially a breakdown of each storyboard frame in a spreadsheet or Excel type format, just without the images associated with the file. So if I click export, you'll see it'll create this CSV, or comma separated value document, that has all the same information on our storyboard, just broken down into a spreadsheet. And you can see with the action, dialogue, description, any of the optional camera properties. And finally, we have a path to the image that is linked to that frame, which is useful if you want to create your own storyboard with this information. So that's great for checklists and kind of just keeping track of what needs to be shot in situations like that. And finally, we have line sheet. And this is super cool because every snapshot taken in this release forward will also capture all the information about every object that's visible within each frame. So let's say over here, in addition to all the camera properties, it also keeps track of, let's say we have this pistol on the table, this coffee cup, this lamp, and things like that. So when I go to export and I export a line sheet, the file that we get is this really handy itemized list of every object visible in each shot. So you can see in 1A, we only have the interrogation room, and then in 1B, we have a bunch of other things, the lamp, the light bulb, the pistol, and so on. In addition to the name, we also have a quantity column, as well as a price column that can be filled out yourself, because in most cases, you're going to want to use this for budgeting or for just keeping track of what you need to buy to make this a virtual shot a reality. Now, what's cool about these files is that unlike an HTML document or PDF document, because they're CSV, they can be edited in basically any spreadsheet software or any text-based software. So, of course, it'll open up in Excel, as you see here, or Google Sheets, but I can also open it up in just Notepad. And you can see it's super simple. They're separated by commas, making it really easy to customize and edit yourself. And that is everything new in this release. I hope you get good use out of these improved previs and pre-production features. I know I have when planning out some short films of my own. And with that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.